All right, all right. Test 1 2, test 1 2. How's everybody doing? I hope I sound okay. I'm probably not going to sound okay, everybody, but welcome back to another TikTok Trash Tuesday. My name is Adam. And every Tuesday, I come here to TikTok to talk smack about movie TikTok. Well, I come here to YouTube to talk smack about TikTok, specifically movie TikTok. And I go out there and I only watch a couple seconds of each one because I don't really want to kind of know what I'm talking about. I want to react to it live with you guys here every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Hit that big old thumbs up there button. That really that helps. I don't know. Supposedly it helps, and I don't know. It helped me in my poor sick about, and I'm dying here. Hi, Athena. Thank you for checking in here, man. A lot of stuff to talk about. I don't know how well I'm going to do at it, sounding as I do, but and I'm going to be honest with you. I thought about like dropping out and going, you know what? I don't really want to do this. I'm not quite up to it. But I'd gathered enough crap that I was just like, let's go ahead and have a go at it. Got a haircut today, so I look nice. So I was like, you know what? Give the people what they kind of want. I don't know what's up there, Night Pard, as well as Mason. Mason, what's up, man? Welcome, everybody. Let's get into it. I got like an hour's worth of TikToks here to react to. Honestly, I've been okay, good. I had to re-upload my stuff a couple of times here because things were a little bit wonky donkey. I hope this is it. Hell yeah, I enjoy your foods, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, dog. Gracias. You see, everybody, what that's called relating to people via their culture. Okay. All right. That makes you as a white person feel closer to the people of other ethnicities. You use as vague little words of theirs that you know and say it in a condescending way to their face. And that makes you feel like a better person. Isn't that how that works? Oh, and we got MVD in the house as well as Alex. We got a full one, everybody. Let's get into it. Let me put on my accoutrement on stage here. And we will we'll get to our TikTok Trash Tuesdays, as it were. All right, let me make sure I got all the right one here so that everything looks good everywhere. All right. Let's lock in, everybody. It's time for another TikTok Trash Tuesday. Let's go.
There's a lot of challenges. Every Monday, I hire a new drywaller. Every Wednesday, he goes missing.
It's the backrooms contractor, Barb the contractor for the backrooms.
And every Friday, he comes back, but he comes back wrong.
Oh, Sammy's a new hire. He's a quiet kid, but reliable, good pair of hands. Multiple good pairs of hands, actually, like 12.
12 pairs of hands? That sounds like Vishnu to me.
It's hard to give an estimate for a functionally limitless liminal pocket dimension where time and space lose
This sounds like a very much a Rachel Dretch character, doesn't it?
all meaning.
I mean, I thought I found asbestos, but then it growled at me.
I've never installed the toilet upside down in the ceiling of the master bedroom before, but there's a first time for everything, I
Hey,
guess.
why not?
OSHA has zero guidance on what to do about monsters made of semi-sentient mold.
Who orders 100 million square feet of damp carpet? Me, apparently.
Of damp carpet, me apparently.
I've bought out every wholesaler in the tri-state area. The wetter, the better, I tell them.
There's free coffee for staff, but the walls of the break room secrete this acidic kind of slime like it's trying to digest you.
It comes
That's
fully
okay.
furnished. Overfurnished, really. I think the sofas are breeding. They were very particular about the wallpaper.
I like the sofa scene, man. To me, like the scene, everybody was super pissed at that scene, or at least there was a goodly number of people that were mad about the scenes The scene with the room that had all the sofas and stuff in it. She's being chased and she's trying to get through the room. She's trying to navigate through that, room of couches and stuff. And everybody's like, she's going so slow. It's like being in a dream, man. If you were to like walk into a dream, you'd have like this room full of couches and stuff that you would be trying to get over, but it's giant and weird and mushy and awkward and strange. And so you wouldn't be running on top of it like Jean-Claude Van Damme. You'd be sinking down and like, be scared that the giant pirate man's after you.
This yellow, they said.
Oh, hey, I didn't know they had a dog.
I've never actually met the client, but I keep getting damp checks in the mail, so I keep building.
Hey. Oh, that's not a dog. That's not a dog. That's not a dog!
Hey, man, don't be eaten by not dog. Speaking of not dog and eating, as per our usual arrangement, 8 p.m., Bronson goes, you know what? It's time to eat. Buddy, no, we're not chomping food in the middle of the show. We'll eat after. I don't know why you did the hour that you were sitting out here ahead of time. I'll give you some water. There's no chomping on the food during the show. All right. It was wildly unprofessional of me, but then again, par for the course, yes? What's next?
Can you give yourself over to the central premise?
All right, we are going to be talking a bit about Disclosure Day this TikTok Trash Tuesday, as I saw it last week. Sean and I talked a little bit about it on the dinger or the pre-show over at patreon.com/HMB. I love you. Yeah, it's I gotta hold on. Give me a second here. Oh boy, everything's on fire today. Yeah, so there. Everything is going off, bro. It's the opposite of Ice Cube's Today Was a Good Day. Today was like fucked up and weird. All right, Disclosure Day. We're talking about Disclosure Day. We're going to be doing that a whole bunch. I saw the movie. I thought it was okay. There's so many elements that are great about it, but at the end of the day, David Koepp's screenplay just kind of falls apart. And really, you just kind of start asking yourself, what year is this? What year where, discovering that that there are aliens out there is going to be a thing that would rock society in that kind of way? What year do you think this is that would happen? And it's the modern year. It's the modern year in which they showed this. So just this kind of like world where aliens, like are finally getting revealed to us. I just don't think in 2026 that would be like, what? No, that's going to be the thing that separates the world. And there's even a rumor out. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but there was, I'm a conspiracy theorist kind of guy. But there was this rumor that like all the spaceships and alien news and stuff that you've heard previous to this movie coming out in the last say half a year to a year, the information that you've been hearing about that was all kind of a secret marketing ploy for this movie. That's what I've heard. I've also heard that Steven Spielberg goes away with no movie ideas, goes away to some sort of retreat or whatnot, and then comes back with a whole slew full of ideas that he sits everybody down and goes, here's the next 15 films that we're working on. I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm just repeating things that I heard on the internet. You know how it'd be. But boomer ideology for Disclosure Day. Let's see what the folks over the big picture have to say.
That revelation is everything. That the idea of just saying this is real could change the way we see our lives in this world.
I'm far too cynical for that. I was really reminded of...
I think we are far too cynical because, even so, let's just say that, the alien and spaceship stuff that we've been seeing previous to this was not like a secret advertisement for Disclosure Day. Let's say that wasn't the case. Then the reactions of Americans were, as you might imagine, this. We were just like, they're like, hey, man, aliens exist. And we're just like, bro, we don't care at this point. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Who cares? There's so much other stuff that we could be worried about, aliens, unless they're like, it's an imminent threat and they're trying to kill us, we don't care. Not just like, oh, in 1943, something crashed in Roswell, and they're like, okay. We like suspected that for quite some time now.
Talking with my father-in-law about Watergate and then about the Trump administration. There was that phase from 2018, I want to say until last year, where there was so much reporting, and every day you'd hear from my father-in-law, we got him. This is the piece of evidence. Like, this is the piece of news. This is the piece of something.
What the fuck does this have to do with Disclosure Day?
Something that is going to make the difference. Obviously, that has not been.
Oh, I see. I get the correlation now. Wow.
The case. And I remember asking him in the 70s, as all of the Watergate information was coming out, did you have a sense that this was going to matter and something was going to happen? And he said, yes, absolutely. It was going to take time, but you knew it was going to build to something. And it ultimately did in Nixon's resignation. We have not seen any accountability of it. And so to me, this is a little bit of a boomerish belief. If you can just get the one truth out there, that everyone has to give into it. And
that's an interesting way to look at it. The one true truth. Curious. Anybody that says things like that, that's when you really start to go like, well, there is the truth. Anyone that ever says the word "my truth," I'd like to talk to you about my truth, or that's my truth. That person's a liar. First and foremost, there's no such thing as my truth. There is the truth, and not the truth. There's truth and there's lies. That's it. There are things that you can fudge in the middle, but at the end of the day, there's either truth or lies.
And I think the most demoralizing part of our last 10, 15 years of life is that that's not the case.
I think that's really, really well put. And that generationally, we have not lived through a flip like that, where it was like, justice be done.
Yeah. Actually,
the conspiracy can become clarified to us all, and the truth can be revealed.
Adam, have you heard of the word of God? Gorilla Grodd? Listen, if I'm following anybody, it's going to be Solomon Grundy, okay? Okay. I need a little bit of a rhyming scheme. That's what I like. What's next?
I just saw a video of someone talking about how theater etiquette is dead. And
brother, it has been dead a long time.
I just have to comment on it because it is so true. It's sickening. It's fucking insane. When you go to a movie theater, your job is to shut the fuck up.
Yes. Yeah. You're here to watch the movie. You're here to be with other people in the same room, and you must respect those people as you would hope they would respect you. Like it's literally just kind of the golden rule. Literally the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if you don't want people being a butthole to you in movies, how about you not be a butthole in movies to other people? That's the best way that you can prevent it. And if we could all try not to be a butthole, then guess what? The whole world will have no butthole. Now, while, that may be bad for you as a human being not having a butthole, the world not having buttholes, maybe not the worst.
Should literally make zero noise. If it's a jump scare moment, or
yeah. Like your jump scares, your ha-has, your laughing and stuff like that, that's fine. But zero conversations should ever be going on.
Or a comedic moment, you can laugh, but even then, do that with reason. Don't be dramatic and put on a show.
Oh my God. We've all been to those films. That's all I'll say.
All right. Don't talk to your friends. Do not touch your phone at all. And your snack.
I turned the phone off. Like I literally turned the phone off. Not silent, not vibrate. Off. To turn the power. I put that button and slide that bad boy power off. Because you know what? At the same time, look too. It's like 2 hours. It's 2 hours. What are you going to learn in that 2 hours that you couldn't learn post? So it was like, oh, but what if somebody in my family dies? Is that going to change anything? Or are they going to will they have been alive had they called you, an hour and a half earlier? Would they have? No, that's not how that works.
Eat your snacks.
I mean, if you're like a doctor or something, like what if they're a doctor and there's the medical blah 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 blah. Don't go to the fucking movies while you're on call, asshole.
Quietly. If you didn't open that crazy bag of chips before the movie started, guess what? You don't get chips. You don't get chips, or you better figure out how to open that shit and perfectly time it with a loud moment in the
Exactly. I mean, I even do that with certain things where it's just like, you know, I'm waiting to a loud moment to where I got to do something to where I don't want to be disrespectful to other people and their time.
film, because people are just out here holding bags like this and reaching in and chomping and just completely unaware that anyone else exists. And
Everyone's eating like Cookie Monster too. That's another one. It's awful.
you suck, you're scum, and I hate you. And I'm not interested at all in, it's impossible to make no noise when you're eating, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is. It's totally possible. I do it all the time. It's easy. It's really easy, and you're dumb if you can't figure it out. So figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. It's just fucking insane, man. The tickets are way too expensive for this nonsense.
That's the thing that kills me, bro. It's like when I went to go see Mando and Grogu, right? I saw it at like 11 a.m. at a premium screening ticket. So the ticket itself was like $15. I go into the theater and there are like 4 kids who are under the age of 8 and a mom, and they are yapping the entire time. It's like we've spent this much money. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Stop it. You're ruining other people's time. And then I yelled at her, like I let it go for a good while. I was actually pretty nice for the entire portion of the film. I'll be quite honest. But there was one point where I was like, hey man, you guys got to be quiet, man. And she looks at me, she goes, they're just kids. I go, yeah, they're just kids. And you should have them be quiet. Tell them to be quiet. She goes, I don't have the time for this. I'm like, motherfucker, we are literally inside of a movie theater. How do you not have time? This is literally the definition of free time, and you're fucking it up.
And a lot of people try to flip the logic of that, and they're like, yeah, I spent all this money on a ticket. I'm going to
do whatever I want to do. No, you will not.
behave how I want. That's not how that works. Not with me in the theater. You don't understand.
You got that right, baby.
I will go full Karen. I will grow a pixie cut right there in the theater and make sure that I take you down with me. If you fucked up my night, you've ruined my reason for being here. The only purpose I have now is to make sure that you're way more miserable than I am. I got a whole family with small children kicked out of a theater about 1.5 years ago.
My man, that is some balls. I love it. I absolutely love it. He goes, and he wears it with pride, wears it as a badge of honor. I got a family with kids kicked out of a theater. God bless you, sir. Woo! Love it.
I don't have a drop of guilt about it.
God, it's so good.
It's one of my favorite things I've ever done. I love that night. Be
Hell yeah.
better. Figure it out, dudes.
You got that right, baby. Figure it the hell out. Oh my goodness. I got so many stories between going to the movies as often as I do and working in the movies for the time that movie theater business for the time that I did. Whew, boy, do I got just a ream.
When you watch a movie at home, there's nothing wrong with I watch a lot of movies at home, but it's not an event to stay home and watch a movie in your living room or in your family room, in your bedroom. It's an event to make a night of it or a day of it, an afternoon of it, even a morning of it, and go.
Now I'm going to reach back on Steven Spielberg. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to do it. Hold on. I just planned on doing this. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right. I swear. All right, here we go. I don't know if this is going to work. But hold on. There we go. Still there? Good. This might screw everything up. But old Stevie here says it's not like, it's a big deal. No, I'm going to show you why it's not. Hold on. Check this out. So if you think that movies, hold on, God damn, I can't do anything today. All right, if you think movies can be a big deal outside of the movie theater. All right, hold on. Here we go. All right, you're hearing the microphone off of my camera right now because we are going to take the first TikTok Trash Tuesday field trip, everybody. That's right. You can't hear. Steven Spielberg says that this is no good.
Stop. Wait. Stop. Wait a second.
You can't do this at home? I'm sorry, Steven Spielberg. This is a lot better than I'll get at any multiplex. I don't know if you guys can hear any of this.
I can transfer it.
No, Steven Spielberg. Just no. All right, I don't know. I tried to do something fun and entertaining that might not have worked. Whoa. All of a sudden All right. Hold on. Oh boy. Everything is I'm sick, can you tell? Give me a second. All right. That was something. I don't know. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, Miss Scarlett. Oh no. What's happening? Call Raj. We're trying to figure out what's happening. Oh Jesus. Where's Rerun when you need him? My God. See, now it got close again. What the fuck is even happening? All right. One of these days I'm going to get it. All right. Now back to the rest of your scheduled program. None of that was worth it. I know.
Out to the movies. That's an event. Yeah. And it makes it more exciting. And when you see a movie in a theater, you're also being surrounded by people who are strangers.
And as you just heard in the last one, do you want to be surrounded by those buttholes? I don't think so.
And there are people in that theater that do not believe what you believe. There are people in that theater who actually believe in the opposite of your core beliefs. About democracy, about this country, about the world, about our needs, about what we need. But in a movie theater, everybody is tuned in to the story being told to them from the screen. And for one moment, we are in communion and we are in agreement and we are a community.
And you know what you could be, and that is true. But you know what helps all that situation to where you don't have all of those other extenuating circumstances that he was talking about? This like, hey, we're not this, we're not that, we're not the other thing. You know how you make sure that all of that stays intact? You shut up. You shut up during the movie. You don't talk. Keep it to yourself. If a character does something that you find morally reprehensible, guess what? Talk about it with your friends later. Don't yap about it there now in the theater. What's wrong with you? Get a grip.
We're a community of strangers watching something that makes us laugh and cry and sing out and want to share those feelings. And often you go into a lobby and you're still buzzing about the movie and you talk to strangers. You're not talking about the stuff that divides you. No. You're talking about what just united you. Yes. And that is...
What the fuck? All of a sudden Michelle Obama's there? What's Big Mike talking to Steven Spielberg about?
It's the great thing that movies build community.
Yeah.
And we need community now more than ever.
Desperately
And
do.
movies can do that if studios will continue to allow movies to play for longer periods of time before they go on television.
They used to be all tuned in, Stephen. Now they are quite a few barely paying attention. I'm telling you, man. It's like when I see people, and I've seen it many a time, within the first half hour of being at the movie theater, crack their phone and start searching, just looking at stuff. You failed. You failed. They failed. We've all failed. I thought I cut all these out, but I had to re-render everything today, so I'll have a couple of those bloop bloops in there. And
A film score is incredibly important to conveying the emotion of losing a beloved character. But somebody forgot to tell that to Francis Ford Coppola when he re-released The Outsiders in 2005, when he chose to change the score to a bunch of updated, generic rock music. Here's the original.
Decided to / couldn't get the rights, perhaps?
1983 score leading up to the death of Dally.
Oh, so you know what that means. This video is about to get copy struck. Thanks, Dick.
And here's what it was changed to with the release of the complete novel version in 2005.
We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. Ooh, we built this city on rock and roll. Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious if that's what they put in there?
I heard the original in school as a kid.
I like my version better.
And it was the first time I really cried to a movie like that. The original is incredibly emotional in that scene, and now it's just like noise, and it completely takes me out of it. I know I'm not alone on this. What did you think of the new score? I liked all the new scenes that they added, but I felt like the score should have not been touched.
I don't know what version of that movie I saw. I really don't. I watched it later. I watched it later in life. I don't know. I'm not sure. By the way, Rob Lowe's book, where he talks about that and many other things within his life and stuff, are pretty darn interesting. Check it out. If I was just like, I don't know about this, and you read it and you're like, Rob Lowe's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. I was a latecomer to the movie as well. The little Ralph Macchio in there. Good stuff.
After just watching Backrooms, I can finally understand why these Latinas felt attacked with Nikki's portrayal of Obsession.
I stopped right here when I was scrolling through TikTok, and I was like, Clark isn't crazy. He's just Nigerian. Now, I've known a couple of Nigerian guys over my lifetime here and everything. They're always an interesting folks. So I'm wondering what he means by this. And I'm like, and as you were supposed to do on the internet, everybody, if you don't know about things, you should seek them out. You should explore what other cultures have to offer, and listen to other people. And that's what we're going to do here. Is we're going to listen to this gentleman and find out how Clark in Backrooms is really just Nigerian, according to this guy.
Because Clark's behavior wasn't weird, insane, or even out of pocket at all. He was just being Nigerian.
I must look to the back of this room. There must be an ending. I have to get out to the back.
First of all, the actor himself, Chu Atel Ejiofor, is a Nigerian Igbo name.
First of all, that's a good on you. There's so many people that cannot pronounce his name correctly, and you did it. Very, very good on you.
I should know because I'm a Nigerian Igbo myself.
Oh, there you go. That's why he's so darn good.
Second, the flaws that they mentioned he had, right? Like, always needs to be right, plays the victim, never takes accountability, dismissive towards people, especially their education's lower towards them.
Hey, man. If you've known some Nigerian folks, everything he's kind of saying is pretty spot on.
Never wanting to change, blames other people for his failures, not to mention he wanted to be an architect. So that implies that he's very left-brain centric, which is very common with us Nigerians. Yeah. Nigerians are considered very, very smart people. Very, very smart. Some of the most educated people in the world, if I'm not mistaken. As someone who was born in the 90s, Clark just acts like every Nigerian elder, uncle, father would behave like in that time period. Like, even looking at him, just when I grow my beard out or even my hair out, like, we look like we could be related. So from 10 years from now, when us Nigerians become even bigger than what we are, people are going to look back at this film and remember that Clark wasn't being weird, strange at all. He was just being Nigerian.
It's just you and Godfrey, man. Come on, who else we got? That was a very interesting take. I like it.
Now, you don't actually think the Toy Story franchise should have ended with Toy Story 3. That is something you heard online and you have now adopted as your personal philosophy.
No, first and foremost, we all said that when Toy Story 3 came out. It was the perfect ending to that movie. It was the trilogy and everything. It was, Andy having his main toys and losing the toys, and then eventually coming back, and eventually at the end with part 3 is learning, hey, I have grown beyond my toys. I am giving my toys to someone else, and they are to have a new life with someone else. That is the end of the story. That is absolutely the end of the story. When Andy goes away and leaves his toys to start anew with other people, that's the end. Now, was Toy Story 4 good? Yeah, it was pretty good. Did it need to exist? No. No, it doesn't. It still had an interesting story and an interesting message to tell about, and I'm sure the new one will have someone as well with the new technology and stuff that's kind of going on and what they're talking about with within the movie and whatnot. And aging, I think, is going to lead into it big time with, Woody's bald spot and stuff like that. So they're going to definitely be going into the aging thing and stuff. But like really, Toy Story has gone from like an analogous thing to a child's life of growing up with toys and the imagination that children have, that that you could even come up with the idea that your toys might be alive and doing things when you weren't there, to the fact of him letting go of those childhood things and realizing that is a thing that is left in your past and something that you need to you can cherish those times and stuff, but there is a moment to move on. And then the Toy Story sequels 4 and what I would imagine this next one and stuff are going to be not focusing obviously on, not that they were ever focused on Andy per se, but Andy was kind of the crux of things, because Andy was the toys god, if you will. I just think the next Toy Stories here, the 4, 5, and let's be honest, probably 6, will just have to do with like the adulthood and stuff, but it's being told through the lens of toys, which is strange and odd. And I don't know. Like, listen, man, it's almost a 30-year-old franchise at this point. All the actors are starting to sound old as shit. I watched I saw a tiny clip with Jessie in there. And old Joan Cusack is sounding old. She sounds like me right now. That's not good.
That's the power of memes. You stop thinking for yourself and just take what someone else has already said. Toy Story 5 just...
No. We were all saying that. I understand that Quentin Tarantino came out and publicly said it and made, maybe dummies that weren't conscious of it conscious. But some of us were saying it from the get-go. When those credits roll in Toy Story 3, you go, oh my, that's why we cried so hard at the end of Toy Story 3. It was the end. It was this long gestating end. The toys are going off on there is a section in the movie where toys are falling on, we're flying on this conveyor belt to a fiery pit of death. And they hold each other's hands and embrace the possibility, the inevitability that death is right in front of them. It was such a just heart-wrenching, like you're not gonna do better than this shit. You're just not gonna do better than it. And all it is just to wring us out to get more money and stuff, because they're devoid of actual ideas. But this guy gets mad at us because Tarantino said what we had already all stated, privately and amongst ourselves, and all of a sudden we're sheep now because we're quote unquote following that. No.
Premiered, the first reactions are out, and people are giving this glowing praise. I've heard people say it is profound, it is deeply moving, that it's like the best since the original. But of course,
see, and those are people that want to get their quotes on the box cover or on the poster or some shit like that. That's what those people do.
Of course, there are segments online of people saying, well, we didn't need anything beyond Toy Story 3.
Correct.
That was such a perfect ending to the franchise.
Correct.
And that's something a lot of people have to say, which is weird because...
Why do they have to say it? No, that's a lot of things people do say. People think that people do say versus people think they have to say. People have to say things like, this was a lovely evening. And a couple other things that I very wisely said, don't say those things. You'll get in trouble.
I thought Toy Story 4 was excellent. But someone just
It was fine. It was a really good movie. Did it need to exist? No.
said Toy Story should have ended after 3, and now everyone thinks that. You know how there was that
Is he going now? What is your angle, bud?
period online where someone said that the word moist is the worst word ever? Why is it? Everyone thought moist was the worst.
Yeah, like I think the homie's starting to figure out there's always a handful of ding dongs on the internet who will just go like, yeah, that's a stupid opinion. That's my opinion too, because it's dumb and I'm dumb. So there you go. I guess.
Word. What? How else am I supposed to describe a good cake? Wet? I don't want a wet cake. A wet cake is worse than
I don't know, man. What's that? Is ain't tiramisu a wet cake, as it were? It's filled with booze.
a moist cake. But someone said it was kind of funny, and then everyone else just adopted it.
I would say the word moisture is worse than moist.
I think the same thing happened
Moist Critical. He's popular.
with Toy Story 3. I know Quentin Tarantino had a thing where he said Toy Story.
See, that's what I'm saying. Here we go. Now we're fine. Now 45 seconds into his thing, he's starting to get to the point.
Story 3 is like one of the best movies of the 21st century, and he won't even watch Toy Story 4 because it ended so perfectly. And that just seems
I can't blame him. If we weren't doing things for podcasts and stuff like that, there's part of me. I guess I want to know because I want to be in the cultural zeitgeist enough to know exactly what's going on. But like, if I was a more stringent person, I wouldn't have watched it.
seems to be a lot of people's philosophy where they think we don't need Toy Story 4 or 5 because 3 ended so well. And I'm not going to argue that Toy Story 3's ending is amazing. But I think Toy Story 4 doesn't get enough credit for being a really fascinating epilogue. And even though I haven't seen Toy Story 5 yet, it's
And that's what we need. More epilogues.
sounding like it continues the trajectory of every Toy Story movie pretty much being perfect. We didn't need a Toy Story 4, but I'd argue we also didn't need a Toy Story 2. Obviously, we exist in a media ecosystem that just wants.
And to be fair, we didn't. We didn't even need a Toy Story 2, if we're honest. If we're honest, we didn't need a 2. We didn't need a 3. You could have just given us the one movie. But again, it was really that was kind of the start, especially with Toy Story 2, was kind of the start of the decline for Pixar, really. And I know people are going like, well, they made tons and tons of successful movies right after. Yeah, but like they really got into the sequelization of stuff at that point and just realized it's like, oh, these are just money cows. And we just go up to the money cow and pull on the teat and money comes out.
Endless sequels and reboots. So hearing we're getting Toy Story 5 can be deflating for that reason. But as much as sequels are just cash grabs, at least Pixar is making these movies good. I just think saying
Imagine how much better they'd be if John Lasseter was there.
Toy Story should have ended after Toy Story 3 is a
But nah, he hugged a couple people and people felt a little bit, weird because a drunk guy gave him a hug at a Christmas party and so we just fired him.
bit of a cop-out. 4 and probably 5 are worth discussing as well.
No one say all right, let's move on.
Jason Blum is projected to make $17 million on Obsession. My name is Joe Russo. I make movies. Let me talk to you about how he earned it.
He earned it by the filmmaking money. What more do you need to tell us, Joe? The movie made money, ergo he make money because he producer of said movie. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck me. Sorry. Holy crap. It's been a day, dude.
To make $17 million on Obsession. My name is Joe Russo. I make movies. Let me talk to you about how he earned it. I never thought I would be talking about the Obsession art director on here again, but since a lot of people are comparing
We're going to be talking about her a whole bunch today, so lock in for that.
what Sally Choi made to Jason Blum, here we are again. And I never thought I'd have to defend how much money
Humberto Gonzalez. Oh, man. I ain't heard that name in forever and a day, dude. Holy cow. He was like internet scoop man back in the day. Holy.
Jason Blum is making, but here goes. Jason Blum had the leverage to get the deal that he got. And he had that leverage based on his track record.
It's like 20-year track record of putting in low-budget films that make a buttload of money back at the box office. Yeah. When you're that kind of producer and stuff, you get to kind of call the shots. Yeah.
Just like after Obsession, Sally will have leverage based on her involvement in a hit movie. This is how it works.
She don't know that, though.
This is how it's done. You get experience and traction, you use that as leverage to get the next job, to get the next gig. Are the economics fair? No, of course not.
Life's not fair. The only thing in life that's fair is got a tent, balloons, and animals. Outside of that, good luck.
Do some people find it frustrating how he's using that leverage to get involved with all these new YouTubers? Yeah, you could argue that, but he earned this success by having a track record. A track record that he used as leverage to maximize his earnings on Obsession. And hopefully this lesson in leverage is something that everyone can take away from Obsession.
Yeah, I think it is. You do have to use that leverage when you can and while you can. And again, Jason Blum has a thing of saying like, hey, here's the amount of money that you have to deal with. We've done the math. You should be able to make us, a profitable film. And you know what? Even if those films suck more often than not, they are very profitable for Jason Blum.
So Steven Spielberg is Jewish, and he has always considered himself to be more spiritual than religious. And a lot of his films have a Judeo-Christian kick to them.
Yeah, I would say that's correct. This is Sav. Sav goes to the movies a whole bunch. So I was interested in, and I know that she's a Christian lady, and there's some like Christian stuff that goes on within Disclosure Day, and like the questions of whether or not like the religious community and stuff would accept the idea of aliens coming in, and would that ruin their idea of God? Which was an interesting enough aspect of it, but I'm curious to see what her take is,
if you will, and that he seems to be asking the question quite a bit, what is God's place in this? If this is real, if this is happening, how do we view and interact with God? There is a Christian element to this film by way of the Catholic Church. So you have Jane, Danny's girlfriend, who is a former postulant, which is like a nun in training. She never got around to taking her vows, and they do seek refuge in a convent. At one point when she's talking to Danny, and because he didn't know that she was almost a nun, she's talking about how she didn't lose her faith, but she questioned the divinity of God. And this movie, I think, questions that a little bit, but not in a negative way. This movie, in a roundabout way, is asking the question, like, if God created this vast universe, is it possible that there's more life out there besides us?
See, and that's always been my case and stuff as well, is that like, just because that we have our thing here and the idea that, God built us in his image or something like that, it doesn't mean that couldn't have happened elsewhere, that there couldn't have been something somewhere else. We don't know. And I think it's really presumptuous and egotistical of us to say we are the only special ones here on this little planet amongst all the other planets within all the other galaxies within the entire universe. You keep going for on infinitum, and there's absolutely zero things. I know we're special, but are we that special? That's a tough one. So like I've always had the idea that like you can have the idea of the thought that that you could have been a creation of God, and God could have other creations that are all across the universe that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. And you wouldn't have any kind of, text to tell you about any of those other things. They would have just been stories because we had no technology. There's no way to get, information from one galaxy to another. So we don't know. And it's a fun enough, interesting idea to think about, that how there could be life in, other, not universes, but galaxies within our own. It's an interesting, fun experiment to think. But I think adding those things in there doesn't automatically negate God.
And if he is our God here on earth, is he their God over there? So in this film, we are questioning the divinity of God. Not is he or is he not divine? That was Jane's struggle. But how vast is his sovereignty? So the question of whether or not Christians should see this film really should be approached on a personal level.
I think about this with anything that involves like a film that has like faith or anything else like that in it, in as much as if this movie is enough to completely rock your faith just by questioning some things or making fun of things or what have you, if that's enough to rock your faith, how strong was your faith to begin with? I think that's a very I think that's a very telling thing. So if you watch and all of a sudden your entire, religious belief and everything fell apart on the screen, either they did a really good job of disproving, your religious beliefs, or you were just, open to the suggestion and stuff. I didn't like Contact because it touched on this. Maybe I won't like Disclosure Day either. It's such a small part of Disclosure Day, to be honest. It's a question that they kind of break up, that they kind of bring up. They talk about it a little bit, and then it's just kind of left. And that's what Sean's biggest complaint about the movie is that they didn't actually kind of go down that rabbit hole a little bit further. He would have liked to actually explore that area as opposed to just kind of glossing it over. It's fine. I thought, to me, it was just like there was the one lady who kind of had my opinions, just like, that doesn't change things. What are you talking about? And I would think anybody with a strong enough faith would just kind of go like, aliens exist? That doesn't mean that God doesn't exist. All right, that's a stretch.
Because everyone's relationship with their faith is different. Some people don't like to have that challenge. They don't like that push, and that's fine. For some people, that is a boundary. You don't push that, you don't cross it. Me, I don't mind the challenge. I enjoy the push because the push doesn't push me away from my faith, but it pushes me a little bit deeper.
That's what it should do. That's exactly what it should do. If you have actual strong faith and convictions in whatever it is, be it religion, politics, whatever, if you hear opposition to your stuff, if you're good, if you truly believe and you truly, are behind, what you believe in and everything, that can actually bolster your opinion as opposed to, swinging you into the other direction.
Any good movie is going to push you to question your everyday worldview. This film is no different. Steven Spielberg just has a knack for doing that with faith.
The unfortunate part is the movie itself was kind of a letdown. I wish I really liked it more. We'll probably talk about it more in a little bit, but let me get refill a drink here, and I'll be right back. Hit the like button, damn it. All right, boys. We got ourselves an American Deuce celebrating the United States of a frickin' America. Pop that open and let freedom ring, boys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get a like and a chat for America, please.
Clint Bentley made a movie called Train Dreams, which I think is one of the best films that came out last year. Brilliant film. And then, of course, I haven't seen Backroom. I will, because we've been engaged in this, but I did see Obsession. And I loved Obsession.
Hey, look, that ain't too bad, boy. How you got to feel if you're Curry Barker right now that old Stevie Spielberg pops up and goes, I've seen this movie and I love it. Woo, man, I couldn't even imagine.
Loved it.
I just spoke to that director the other day and talked about you, and his mind is blown. He's anxious to talk to you, Steven.
We will talk. Yeah.
Man, that's got to be a good vibe to feel right there. It's like, oh yeah, Steven Spielberg saw my stuff, liked my stuff, and can't wait to talk to me. Woo, not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Well, I saw Backrooms. Here's what you don't do. Do not take your pants off when you go to the movie theater. I know it's tempting. We've all been tempted, but keep your pants on, damn it. Not do what I did. Don't.
He took his pants off, son of a bitch, every time.
Go see Backrooms when you're traveling in a city you don't live in, at a movie theater you've never been to before. That's inside.
When you get a haircut, be sure to go back home. When you get a haircut, get a barber you have known. Since you were a little bitty boy sitting in the booster chair, you might look like Larry Moore Curly if a stranger cut your hair. That's what he's talking about, but with movie theaters. You didn't think you was going to get serenaded with a Ray Stevens song tonight, did you? Bam!
At an old mall. I started walking out of that theater and I was like, oh my God, I'm there. I'm in the back rooms.
Yeah, man. Those are great. When you get a mall out like late at night, if you leave like a mall movie theater, and you just kind of walk out, and it's that barren wasteland of everywhere. It's frightening.
And it just so, I mean, for me, especially like traveling a lot, doing comedy in different towns, and then like coming back to the same towns again, and then having that, like, oh, right, yeah, no, I recognize this, or trying to remember a place, and it's just like, they're all starting to blur together. I mean, that's what I took away from Backrooms as is just, you know, just that feeling of homogenization from consumerism, from, you know, especially like certain like industrial parks, not industrial parks, but like shopping centers, that it's like, I don't know, this could be the Ruby Tuesdays in 15 different towns I've been to. You know, I think that's the other interesting thing about the movie is that any reviews I've seen where they say there's going to be spoilers, I'll scroll by just because I'm like, I don't. And then the more I thought about it after seeing the movie, I was like, man,
what do you really spoil in this? You know, you can say some weird stuff, and then you're going to be like, do what now?
It's I think spoiler alerts are stupid in general. Like, if somebody's online talking about a movie, what do you think they're going to talk about? I mean, I know when I recommend, like, Blu-rays and stuff, I try to keep the reviews cold because I'm like, you should go into this knowing nothing.
I knew nothing going into Obsession, save for Chiwetel, and it was a thing that was online and just infinite back rooms, as it were. But that's it.
That's not what I mean. Because, like, I don't believe you could spoil certain movies, and you certainly couldn't spoil a movie like Backrooms. You have to have the experience. I mean, it's the reason people get so frustrated with David Lynch movies, because they're like, well, tell me, I don't understand it. Explain it to me. You want me to explain to you how you felt when you watched this movie? Because that's the point. I feel like they even address it in Backrooms when she's talking about it's like describing a dog to someone who's never seen a dog. I always come back to like the James Joyce book Ulysses. Is it
nothing? Whenever I hear Ulysses or anything else like that, I think it's a different book, but I always think of because Ulysses is a fairly large book, if memory serves. I always think of Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel, and his bit on The Simpsons. Just goes, even Cletus is reading, and goes over to Cletus and goes, "Nothing opens up a turtle like Leon Uris."
Just about a guy walking around Dublin all day. You know, it's like that looks maxing guy, whoever that dude is, that keeps popping up in my feed.
You mean clavicular? He's just got a nose job, and he looks like shit.
I'm not looking for it. He keeps popping up, and he's like, "Oh, I don't read books. I just read summaries and articles."
Same.
It's insane to me. I think like Jason Bateman's character touches on it in DTF St. Louis. He's like, "I don't want you to tell me that it doesn't work. I want the experience." And I think that does kind of feed into the homogenization of consumerism, of the experience of like just like restaurants, for example, like chain restaurants. Or like some brand you used to like that then gets bought, and then you're like, it's just not the same anymore. It doesn't.
Oh, get ready, boys! Tapatio got bought out by a big old corporation, so Tapatio's about to be cooked.
Taste the same ever since so and so bought it. It just becomes this dumbing down of the experience when trying to replicate the experience cheapens it. But yeah, my God, I mean, you just start walking around somewhere. And you just look around, and you're like, oh my God, it's all the back rooms. That which is inauthentic.
It's authentically inauthentic.
I can't believe only one movie has made $1 billion at the box office this year. So here are the top 10 highest grossing films of the year that have made the most money. So
And wait till you find out. And I haven't watched this, but based upon other TikToks that we've done throughout the weeks here, I think I have an idea of what number one is, and I think it will shock you. It shocked me.
Far. Number 10 is The Backrooms, which has already made $240 million on a budget of $10 million, and this is still in theaters. It's going to end up a lot higher. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the sequel that we're obviously going to get with how profitable this was. Number 9 is Wuthering Heights. This movie really came and went, but it made
Yeah, man. Everybody said that movie sucked ass, but a lot of people went to go see it.
$241 million. Number 8 is Obsession, the biggest box office surprise of the year. This has made $248 million, and it cost $750,000 to make. This is the biggest proof we have that word of mouth is the most important thing for a movie success. This made more.
Word of mouth and being good. You have to be good. You can't just be like, oh my God, have you heard of this film? You need to be a film that's actually going to get people in the seats, and you do that with a good film.
In its 25th day in theaters than Avengers Endgame made in its 25th day, which is absolutely insane. Number 7 is The Mandalorian and Grogu. This has made $299 million so far, heavily underperforming at the box office for a Star Wars film. And number 6 is Pixar's latest movie, Hoppers. I found this to be an absolute blast, and this
Hoppers is the thing that looks you right in the face. I haven't seen it, but I watched the trailer. It looks you right in the face and just goes like, "This is was it Inception or what was the movie that it's clearly aping?" It's like, I forget what it was. I feel like it was Inception or something like that, but it looks basically right. The screen just goes like, "No, we ain't doing that." You totally are. You're totally ripping off whatever that movie is.
This movie has made $372 million at the box office, which is pretty solid numbers for a new original film. Hopefully, if we get a sequel one day, it gets a bigger boost, though, because I really loved it. And number 5 is Pegasus 3, which, if you've never heard of, is a Chinese...
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Surrogates. It was another one. Dang it.
Chinese movie that made almost all of its money in China. It's only made $1 million in the United States, but it's made $655 million worldwide. And number 4 is The Devil Wears Prada 2. This is...
Boy, people are lemmings. That's the word I'm looking for.
This made $665 million worldwide. I knew this was going to be a big hit, but I was not expecting it to pull in these insane numbers. Number 3 is still my favorite movie of the year, Project Hail Mary. This has brought in $681 million. I'm so happy this movie was such a big hit at the box office. At number 2 is the Michael movie, which is...
I thought that was going to be number 1, man, because that thing's made almost... It's on its way to $1 billion. That's the difference. I guess he says the other one made $1 billion.
Currently at $901 million. But number 1 is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which just crossed...
Really?
$1 billion, but
that's got to be worldwide. Hold on. Oh, yeah. They made half that worldwide.
Still $300 million behind the first film.
That's interesting.
I just need to talk about this for a second, and if you think there is some truth to this statement, take Steven Spielberg's name off Disclosure Day and slap M. Night Shyamalan's name on it, and it's a 12% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes guarantee.
That's correct. That is 1,000% correct. If you gave us the exact same movie but put M. Night Shyamalan's name on it, this movie would be universally hated. It would. It would. If you put M. Night Shyamalan's name on this instead of Steven Spielberg, people would hate this movie. 100%.
Guaranteed, which I know this could be rage bait, but it is an interesting thought about different directors' reputations. Now, of course, these are two different directors. If they were to direct the same movie,
but like, he kind of fancied himself the Spielberg of his generation. He did.
It would come out two different ways. And I actually enjoy both of these directors' works. I would say that Steven Spielberg has a more positive reputation than M. Night Shyamalan.
You think? You think? Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, like the list goes on and on and on, my friend. It goes on forever. Shyamalan's got like 3.
And it's because Spielberg has directed some beloved blockbusters. What I take this conversation as is that
some beloved blockbusters. Try the biggest blockbusters of all time, friendo. E.T. was like number 1 at the box office for an entire year. What are you talking about?
People are a little bit more forgiving of Disclosure Day's flaws in the script, where they would be bashing M. Night.
Yep, this is a David Koepp problem.
Because a lot of people bash M. Night because of his scripts. Like, they will acknowledge how great the camera work is in Spielberg's movies. But if people don't love the script in an M. Night movie, they're not necessarily looking at all of the other elements surrounding it. I like Disclosure Day. I didn't love it. I like a lot of M. Night's work as well. I think there is a little truth because of the reputation that Spielberg has, that some people are a little bit more forgiving of the flaws in Disclosure Day, where they wouldn't be in an M. Night movie. Our own biases play a part in this. If you love Spielberg, then it might be hard to accept some of the flaws, or you might overlook them, or you necessarily wouldn't with another director. It happens with all of us, and it's totally fine if the movie worked for you. It's tough because I kind of
Buddy, we're going in circles.
Agree with this tweet, but there is a lot more to the conversation. But I am curious.
This is a motherfucker who gets the TikTok thing if his clip reaches a minute.
How you interpret this tweet, and if you think there is some truth to it.
I'm trying to pad this shit out as best I can.
post says, felt like I was watching a different movie from half the audience because what the hell did they find funny? I'm confused. There are parts of this movie that are supposed to be funny. Obviously, the ridiculousness of Nikki's curse is both funny and demonic. When she says, I'm your freaky Nikki, obviously that's meant to be taken in a funny way. And then her insanely intense frown, obviously that's supposed to be a funny thing.
Yeah, listen, and if you look at Curry Barker's other work and stuff, which I highly recommend you do, it's good, it's quality, it's funny. He makes a lot of funny stuff. He's a funny dude, and they put together some funny sketches and stuff like that. Him and his buddy who star in this movie, as the friend, they're really great, and they put out a lot of funny stuff. But the thing is, with like a lot of horror movies that I think maybe many people don't realize, is that if you mic'd a horror audience and you just listened to the audience back on that recording, you would likely go, that was a comedy that they were watching, because there was so much laughter. Laughter, especially like in horror movies and stuff, is a defense. It's a defense that we don't, always consciously recognize that we're doing. But so many times in movies, we'll see something that is scary, that is frightening, and the result is the actual opposite of what you think it would be. It goes to laughter. And the laughter is there essentially to kind of, cudgel us out of being scared, right? It's you going, I know this isn't real. I know this is fake. I'm safe. I'm a safe person. See, I was silly for being scared. That's why there's so much laughter within horror films. But yeah, but there's very specifically jokes that do happen in this movie, for sure.
I mean, it comes out of nowhere. The music and the framing of the scene will tell you how to feel in that scene. You're supposed to be scared during the bedroom scene, then laugh during this scene. Like, don't be scared to laugh during a movie like this, because Curry Barker's a lighthearted guy.
He's a goofy dude. He a goofy ass dude. There ain't no doubt about it. Go watch his sketches. They're funny, but he's goofy.
Finds a lot of things funny. He's a comedian after all. Be sure to let me know what you think and follow for more.
He gets dramatic as hell in those things too, and is very, very down with making himself stupid in the butt of the joke, which is always endearing to me.
Well, I saw Obsession.
Man, we're seeing Matt's old Obsession and Backrooms review, getting all together there, right? No relation to Clive Barker. That would be hilarious.
I mean, I just love when you have a simple premise, it's like jazz or funk. You can go anywhere with it. And especially in the world of relationships, dating, romance, you can just start hitting on all those different motifs, cliches, whatever you want to call them, because it's familiar. Because all of those things are familiar.
And that is the interesting thing with Obsession, because for the most part, with what we are doing with Obsession, it's not new. Not really. It's not all that new. It's a monkey's paw, tail and everything like that. There's a lot of the tropes and stuff that go on with relationships. We're not breaking new ground per se, but we are showing things in a more interesting way than you normally would.
Like, I've been that guy who's like, oh God, you're saying too much. Shut up. I've dated that girl who's just like, but then I think what's brilliant about the movie is then once, like any good horror movie, and this is horror. This movie was horror. When it works really well is when you take something familiar, that's when it becomes truly scary. That's why, like, that Alfred Hitchcock thing of just showing you, here's just a simple everyday town, and now there's something horrible underneath. It's like Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet's the perfect example of, here's something nice.
And then here's Dennis Hopper.
Here's the horror underneath it. But I mean, that thing was a trip. When it ended, I couldn't stop nervous laughing. And each passing, I mean, at this point, this is for people who've seen the movie, but every time she screamed as the credits were going by and I kept walking, I'm just like, oh my God. So well done. Oh my God. And what a unique way to have a final girl. Just brilliant. I think the problem some modern horror gets into is they try to reinvent the wheel. It's not necessary, because that's when things start getting, I don't know, a little confusing, a little gooey. And if there's one thing you don't want in your horror movie, it's goo.
What is with the balloon animals back here? What's happening?
No, I loved it. Oh my God. 1 3/4 garage doors up. Did I say Backrooms was 2 garage doors up? Backrooms is 2.
As the lights went down, Bob said, "Hold on to your butts." And I went back to my office that afternoon and wrote it into the Jurassic Park script.
Well, it's David Koepp, everybody. David Koepp wrote Disclosure Day for Steven Spielberg. David Koepp is kind of all over the place. The man's done some fantastic work, and he's done some absolute and utter turds. And you never quite know which one that you're going to get with him, because like he'll do a good one, then he'll do like 3 crap ones, and he'll do 5 good ones, and then 2 crap ones. You never really know. David Koepp's all over the joint, man. It's like, I'll give you Jurassic Park, and then I'll also give you, I try to forget all his bad ones, but he's done a lot of bad ones too.
Because I liked it so much.
I think about a lot of famous movie lines in history. Hold on to your butts is obviously like a
This would be tough for me, and this is why I've got to applaud guys like Kevin, who will go, and why I will never get the job that Kevin has here, is that I wouldn't be able to be nice. I mean, maybe not be nice, but I wouldn't be that PR thing. I would just, I don't know. I would just be too tempted to be Adam and just start saying what I think. And that's not always good for everybody.
Which I stole from Bob Zemeckis.
What?
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Wait, what do you mean you stole it from him?
Well, we were working on Death Becomes Her.
I love that movie.
At the time when I was writing Jurassic Park. And it was in post, and we'd done reshoots because the ending didn't quite work the way we wanted, so we'd shot a new ending. And we were sitting down in the screening room to watch the dailies, and it was really going to be the last chance because, the movie was going to come out. So if these dailies weren't good, we couldn't use the new ending. So there was a sense of anxiety. And as the lights went down, Bob said, "Hold on to your butts." And I went back to my office that afternoon and wrote it into the Jurassic Park script because I liked it so much.
What's next?
Was something that I do in order to try and make it look more authentic, which is that I search for the words, or I sometimes pretend that I can't quite remember the word yet. Which is just something people do. It's not rocket science. It's just something people do in speech. They'll say, I was walking to the delicatessen, and that's all it is. The line is, I was walking to the delicatessen. If you know the line. You know the line, but that's what people do when they're talking to one another.
I think there's not enough of that going on in acting, where it's just like, we do struggle to find words. We screw things up every now and then, and to put those things into a movie is realistic. It's a realistic thing, and to have somebody to not have every word be a pitch perfect thing is I don't know. I like it a whole bunch. Not everything has to be your perfect Kevin Smith dialogue where everybody's just cha 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 chow.
That they forget the word delicatessen on occasion. So it's just a way of perhaps trying to make it look as if, it's real. And in this...
Boy, I tell you what.
Sometimes America can't stop messing with perfection and has to make a remake of an otherwise perfect foreign horror.
I don't know why we do this.
Film. And here are 4 examples of when America should have been stopped. And the last one is the worst offender.
Oh. I think I know. Oh, all right. Let's see. Let's go.
While not one of the absolute worst offenders here, America's remake of Ringu misses the mark when it comes to the investigative nature of the film.
Incorrect. It's the exact opposite. As a matter of fact, in Ringu, they find the well far too easily. All of a sudden, they just go, "Oh, look at that. We know to tear away the lattice on the side of the house," and all of a sudden we see where the well is. No. Whereas in the American version of The Ring, it's just like the house starts like there's like it pulls in on itself and like things go to this certain way. Like it's cool and it's done in a more interesting way, and they have to like kind of dig out everything as opposed to just, taking away some lattice and all of a sudden they're there. You're wrong.
Based on the amazing books by Koji Suzuki, Ringu is more about the mystery than it is a creepy little ghost girl.
Well, guess what? They did it better in the American version. I'll go ahead and say it.
Example 2 is A Tale of Two Sisters and its American remake, The Uninvited.
The Uninvited was not great. I'll admit that.
Steeped in sadness.
See this one though, so I can't say anything.
A Tale of Two Sisters is a story as tragic as it is hauntingly beautiful, and the American remake just fails to hit the nail on the head. Our third offender is Cairo, and its American remake, Pulse.
Did I see Pulse? I don't think so. I remember seeing this cover all the time.
Again, America just overlooks the entire meaning of the film and goes, ooh, spooky ghost, let's do that. This movie is about feelings of isolation and losing people to the increased usage of technology, not a vehicle for cheap jump scares. And finally, the film that neutered the entire heart and soul out of an otherwise perfect foreign horror film. And that happened with Martyrs and its American remake, Martyrs.
Oh, they remade Martyrs for America? Couldn't imagine that. What could I don't know. Because I hated Martyrs all the way up until the end and the kind of reveal that kind of says, hey, here's what's going on. And it's weird and strange, but that was like there for whatever reason, it was like literally that weird ass reveal just going like, here's why all the things that are going on are going on. I was like, okay, I like this. I don't know.
This is one of my favorite French horror films of all time, and when I heard America was doing a remake of it, my heart sank into my butt. Not only do they completely miss the point of the entire story, this is one film where the brutality and violence is justified to convey the actual meaning, and they decided to strip that out as well. Whoever approved the American remake of this film needs to be in jail.
Jamie Heineman is right.
But what are your favorite examples of when foreign horror just did it better? Let me...
The Eye, they remade it with Jessica Alba. That sucked. The original version was all right, but her version was worse. It's the only one that comes off the top of my head at the exact second.
Know down in the comments, and as always, I appreciate your time, and thank you.
You're welcome.
I went to see Obsession with my cute niece, and I kind of wish it didn't.
What now?
Don't get me wrong, from a purely technical standpoint, they did a great job. The script is well written, it's well acted.
Okay. We got our music volume far too high in our edit. We just need to know that right off the bat here. It is what it is, but you gotta turn that bad boy down now.
I can see why it won all of the awards. And of course I love spending
Oh, well, that was Super Mario beat.
time with my niece. I just
don't
like scary movies. I don't like horror movies.
Here comes the jump scare.
I want to leave at the end of the day feeling good about myself. I don't mind if there's monsters as long as they get killed in the end. And actually, I like a romance where the good guy gets the good girl and there's passion and sparks and it makes me believe in something again.
That is not this movie.
And that's why I'm making a super...
Oh, there you go. I like Ju-On better than The Grudge. No, so you are correct. You are correct. Ju-On is so much better than The Grudge. And it's the same director. That's the best part. Same director for the American version as the Japanese version. The Japanese version, like 10 times better. 10 times better. So much better.
Fun romance called The Scrooge I Fell For. It's over on Showstack. If you want something that's a little happier, go check it out. See you over there.
A couple glasses of wine this evening. I'm doing great.
Did you know that George Lucas changed something so fundamental about movies that he was fined $250,000 and quit the Directors Guild forever? It's true, and it has to do with the original Star Wars. Everyone who has seen Star Wars knows how it starts. Text scrolls across the screen, and then you jump right into the action. This has become expected now, but when Episode 4 was released in 1977, no one had seen anything like this. They were used to seeing credits at the start of a movie, or at the very...
No one had seen anything like this. He literally stole it from serials. What are we on? What are we on about? It's literally Flash Gordon. Get out of here, dog. We'd never seen it before. The hell we had.
released the name of the director. George Lucas said, no, I want my audience to be immersed and engaged from the get-go. So he moved his credits to the end, which wasn't a problem for his little movie until it was massively successful. The Directors Guild didn't like that he broke with tradition and left out his own credit, so they told him not to do it again, which he did in episode 5. So they fined him $250,000, which he paid and then quit. So if you're ever wondering why movie credits are at the...
That's what happens when somebody else steals someone else's TikTok. They never get to the fucking end.
Did you ever think you looked like him before?
I did. I always grew up with it. But it was this particular period that fascinated me the most. This is where
This is crazy, right? Old Billy Zane looking dead ass like Marlon Brando.
Pushed to kind of follow his dream.
Did you hear that even his children felt like they couldn't tell the difference between the two of you? I mean, that's
true.
next level.
No, Rebecca Brando, we showed her some photos, and she's one of the executors of his estate. Who obviously they blessed it and they love the portrait because it's a reclaiming of the legacy from the trauma drama. It's a very happy movie, and it really celebrates him as a visionary. But we showed her these photos, and she honestly said, is that you or Daddy? And I was like, well, I think we did it, right?
Yeah. If you can fool your own daughter into just going, is that my dad or is that you? I don't know.
My biggest horror hot take is that if you don't like a horror movie because you think it wasn't scary, you are not a horror fan, you are a fan of scary movies. I do believe that there is a difference and that a lot of horror movies are scary movies. However, something being scary does not inherently make it horror, and something not being scary does not inherently make it not horror.
That's correct. Yeah, she's right.
Something being scary is extremely subjective. Everyone is afraid of different things. I heard somebody on here say that they thought that The Happening by M. Night Shyamalan was the scariest movie they'd ever seen.
Yo, it's the wind, man. You can't even see that joint, yo. It's flying and then it gets you. That's the wind, son. What's scarier than the wind, son?
Because they are legitimately afraid of like plants coming alive.
Yo, man, they might. You ever seen that Poison Ivy lady? She make plants come alive all the time. Shit's scary, though.
And most horror fans are like, that's not a scary movie. And I would agree, it's not a scary movie.
I was frightened. Mark Wahlberg's acting put me in just shivers.
But for someone who apparently is not even a fan of horror, they think that's a terrifying movie. So you can see how subjective scary really is. And I personally am a fan of a lot of movies that I don't find scary, but I think are very effective horror. I actually find some scary movies to be more cozy horror, especially if they're paranormal or found footage. I have never found a found footage movie scary. I just find them very cozy and relaxing, and I like.
Now you ain't seen them asylum ones
to watch them for that reason.
All right. Let me just lean back real quick. Excuse me.
Jessica, why?
I'm going to say something that might sound kind of crazy, but I have never seen a bad John Carpenter movie.
You ain't watched all of them then, homie. I might go so far as to say you ain't even watched half of them if you got that statement in your mouth. That's crazy work.
Not one. Halloween, Assault on Precinct 13.
Yeah, so far those are good. Keep going though. Keep going, because the unfortunate part is it starts going like this.
All of them bangers. But here's the thing though.
Those were what, 2 films? Okay, what next?
I didn't grow up watching horror because, religious household. You don't really do horror when you're growing up in church. So John Carpenter was always a name I knew but never really experienced it. And then I actually sat down and watched his film. And then I realized this man does not make accidents. And nothing made that clearer to me than Halloween. That score, that theme, you know it the second you hear it. But here's what gets me. He wrote it. John Carpenter scored his own film. He sat down, composed that music, and then put it underneath his own images. Think about what that means. That's not a composer trying to interpret a director's vision. That's the director saying, this is exactly how I want you to feel.
Okay. I mean, I suppose same could be said for Robert Rodriguez, because he kind of does a bit of that to a degree.
No translation, no guessing, direct line from his brain to your nervous system. Clint Eastwood does the same thing, scores his own films, and you feel the difference. There's an emotional ownership in the work that you can't fake. That's what Carpenter has. Ownership over every element. And that's why I've never seen a bad John Carpenter movie. Because when one person cares that deeply about every single piece, the whole thing holds together. So if you never sat down with a Carpenter film, start with Halloween. Not because it's the scariest, but because it'll show you what intentional filmmaking looks like.
Okay, hold on. My man. All right, kids. We're going to do it. We're going to do it because this man needs a little bit of help. Boop, bop, beep, boo. Here's John Carpenter. Let's look at all of our great John Carpenter films, shall we? We're gonna go to the director's portion. There we go. All right. Dark Star, not very good, but it's cheeky and funny. Ha ha ha. Assault on Precinct 13, very good. Halloween, amazing. The Elvis, it's fine. The Fog stinks. Escape from New York is pretty good. The Thing is amazingly good. Christine, no. Starman, yes. Big Trouble in Little China, don't care what you say. It's not that great. Prince of Darkness is very good. They Live is very good. Memoirs of an Invisible Man, not so good. Body Bags, not so good. In the Mouth of Madness, very good. Village of the Damned, not so good. Escape from LA, not so good. Vampires, terrible. Ghosts of Mars, terrible. His Master of Horror episodes were fair. The Ward, terrible. No. You're wrong, homie. You're wrong. John Carpenter's made an assload of terrible films. No, The Fog is not a great movie. The Fog is boring. The Fog is boring. Nothing happens. It's lame.
What if LEGO produced a collectible minifigure series based on characters in the Criterion Collection?
Why on earth is this not a thing?
With over 1,000 films to choose from, classic and contemporary, which characters would make the lineup for a Series 1? Starting off the series, we have Charlie.
Yeah, you got the Tramp. Come on, forget about it.
Charlie Chaplin's The Tramp from so many.
Listen, I think if we got the Tramp, though, you also need to have Buster Keaton, and you also need to have what's his nut? My brain's not working today. Harold Lloyd.
Classic movies. He's one of the most recognizable characters in movie history, and he even meets LEGO's content guidelines because he's pretty family friendly. And our second character in the series is from Spine 2 of the Criterion Collection. That is, of course, Kikuchio from Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. Personally, I think this minifigure looks really cute. And I promise not all the characters are going to be in black and white, but third we have Henry from Eraserhead. We had to have at least one minifigure from a David Lynch movie, considering how frequently he shows up in the
and that works too. And the hair is like an awesome little extension.
Collection, and Henry just made the most sense. Speaking of directors with a lot of films in the collection, we have our Wes Anderson representation with Chaz Tenenbaum from the Royal Tenenbaums. This would be the first LEGO Ben Stiller, and he'd have a new hairpiece similar to the Hobbit piece, just a little bit different, and his accessory would be one of his Dalmatian mice.
Very good, very good. I would like to, I don't know, can you make a minifig out of the cat from House Who?
Obsession art director salty after only getting paid $7,000 after the film makes $175 million. What do we think of this? Why do people only come asking for a bonus when things go well?
Well, it is very true. They only ask for things when they go well. If the movie went bad, they certainly wouldn't be giving the money back that they made. Now, would they? Another real bad takes here. I promise I will not make him a recurring character on this here program. We just want to talk more obsession stuff and clown on this guy's silly worldview on things. So let's go.
So the Obsession crew is mad about the film being so successful.
I make movies. Let me talk to you about why this salary is actually okay.
Because I know you would not be saying this if the movie did poor at the box office.
Now, with this story, the film community had a chance to show some class consciousness, some solidarity, some understanding for someone who was voicing a very real issue, but a lot of people decided to come out like absolute roaches to basically curb stomp someone for voicing
Curb stomp is a really wild statement to throw in there for what people are doing. They're laughing at this girl, but a curb stomp, okay, call it that.
There are embarrassing stuff said by a lot of people about,
like you just did with the curb stomping comment. That's embarrassing.
This post. So here is the entire post, start to finish. You can pause to read at any point if you'd like, but basically,
I will. I'll go ahead and I'll read this, and yeah, let's see. I've debated this for a long time. I've been holding a lot of weight over. First of all, anyone that says things like "I've been holding a lot of weight," know right then and there that person is absolutely full of shit. I've been holding a lot of weight over the last 2 years since the production of Obsession. So I'm going to be so what I'm going to say is this. Obsession was made for $750,000 and is projected to make $250 million. How much I made? $300 a day as an art director. This came out to $6,741.36 after taxes. No mileage. I did know the rate beforehand and agreed to it. I don't know why we're reading anything post that. You admit right there, you signed the paper, you agreed to this. What's the problem? Oh, somebody made some money and you didn't at this point? So sorry. This is the reality of what most filmmakers, especially those who work below the line, we become a line in the budget sheet to keep as low as possible. Yes. Especially with independent films, you are an item. You are a budget line item that they do want to keep low because they do not have a lot of money to spend. Yes. Now, for the rest of this, I have sped up Real Bad Takes to about 175% of what his normal speed is because homie is a slow-ass talker, and we'd be here for a week.
Sally Choi, or Choi, not sure of the pronunciation, but she drew attention to her salary as the art director for Obsession. Not demand anything. She was not condescending. She just presented information to cause the conversation that's now happening. Said she knew the rate beforehand and agreed to it, but at that point...
Then who cares? Then who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? You said it right there. She's already said it. She agreed to it. Why does she? I mean, she can't complain. She's free to complain, but they're also free to say no.
Was living paycheck to paycheck. About some people working for free. Said she kicked herself every day.
Hey, guess what? That's how it goes. You chose to work in an industry that is very difficult to get into. You chose to get into an industry that you knew that was going to be unstable. Yeah. You signed up for that. You signed up for the vagabond lifestyle. The romance and everything sounded fantastic until it kind of hit you.
For not flipping the production was encouraged not to and naively listen.
Yeah, you shouldn't flip a production. You shouldn't be an asshole to just go like, I want things. I want more money. I'm going to fuck this entire production because I don't feel like I'm paid enough money. Shut up.
As is the case for most low-budget productions, people wore many hats. She said she was also a PA, set dresser, graphic designer, background actor, driver, swing, and buyer. You talked about
yeah. And any of us that have worked on low-budget independent films know that that's what you have to do. And you know what? A lot of us have worked on those films and got paid $0. So you got paid. How about you shut your mouth?
About the physical toll the job took on her. Says this to have her piece, that it's a bigger conversation than obsession with the film industry, which is true. Says her perspective is to drop in a bucket.
The job, I had to physically work at the job, and I had to do a job. Oh God, we all go to jobs that we don't like. Shut up.
Ask people to share their rates. Maybe we can turn a tide in the film industry. A lot of people have told her basically to shut up. This person says, "Am I the only one that?"
Yes, she should shut up.
Finds it to be manipulative and disrespectful. You're saying this right here.
It is. It's manipulative. It's disrespectful, and it's a good way to not get yourself work in the business. Good job.
You're not just licking the boot, you are fully gargling it. Would you have posted the same thing if the film flopped? If you are saying stuff like this, you are a patently stupid person who does not think human beings should be rewarded when their work is good, right? When
Yes. If it's not part of their actual contract and part of their negotiations, why do they feel owed it? It's not what you signed up for. Sorry. I'm sorry, but if you signed a piece of paper, it means something.
One at the top is getting so much fucking money, they don't know what to do with it. The people who actually did the
They don't know what to do with it. They absolutely know what to do with it. Just because you wouldn't know what to do with it because you're poor doesn't mean that other people don't know what to do with their money. You're such an idiot.
Work should get some money for it. Accept the pay, but if the project is successful, they feel entitled to more. So by that logic, if the project lost money, should they pay for the loss?
Yes. Yeah. And you can't defend that.
1,100 likes. It's embarrassing. We just watched Markiplier make Iron Lung for $3 million. He paid out bonuses to every single member of his cast.
Right. Because he decided to do that. He did. He decided that. He decided that. He wasn't forced to. He didn't have to have any unions or any other bullshit. But at the same time, too, guess what? Markiplier did most of the work himself.
Casting crew, whatever they got paid, it was double. The movie only made like $50 million. Obsession is pushing $230 million. There's not a single reason for bonuses not to be paid to every single person that worked on the film.
Sure there is. They don't want to. And guess what? They don't have to. Would it be nice if they did? For sure. Would I encourage them to do so? Absolutely. Do they have to? Certainly not. Certainly not.
People, rather than saying that, slithering around on the internet, talking shit about someone who actually did something well and is
be talking about you doing something well. Come on there, big boy.
Not asking for anything crazy. The thing is, in the post, she's not asking for anything at all. She simply was raising awareness about what this actually looks
like. No. She was bitching and moaning, and she ain't gonna get another job real easy because she's going to be known as a girl who be starting trouble. Who in a $750,000 film had at least the inkling or the idea that she was going to shut an entire production down because she wasn't getting a whole bunch of money. You're working on an independent picture. Get your expectations in order.
Like. So maybe people will be negotiating better deals up front. People will be thinking about a back-end deal. People will be thinking about unionizing.
Right, and that's the thing. And once those things come about and they realize that that's what people want, those people won't be getting jobs anymore. That's how that works because they don't want to give away everything before they've even done anything. Why would they do that? Again, we got a lot of people talking about show business who have no idea about business part of that show at all.
She has said she might do, she might not do. She said this in a new video.
Flips, which means that it is.
I slowed this woman down because I didn't know what her speech pattern was like, but I sped him back up. Don't worry.
Now a union project, and hopefully you have all the days necessary to join the union. Obsession was not a union film, and I'm not in the union. I am qualified to join, but I don't think I want to, and that's a whole other story.
You shouldn't want to join a union. I don't care what anybody says. A union is there to take your money. You can say, oh, it gets us all these things, and perhaps that it does in some certain cases. But at the end of the day, the union's goal is to get more money in their pocket. They'll tell you it's for your pocket, but a good portion of that's going to them. The people that sit behind a desk and don't do anything with your job, who also at the same time can shut your job down for any reason that they feel like it. Like, oh, you don't respect us enough. We're shutting your entire film down. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Also should put pressure on the producers who have the money to pay out bonuses to the people who busted their ass to make the money. If you disagree,
you can do that. You can talk to them and you can say like, hey man, it'd be really cool if you did this. But you know, if they don't want to, guess what? Don't fucking matter.
Agree with that fact. If you would argue for a production company or a producer over a worker who busted their ass again, you are an absolute.
You don't know if they busted their ass. That's an assumption that you made. What if they were the laziest piece of garbage on the entire set? Did they deserve a bonus if they're a lazy, no good, shiftless moron? I don't think so. If everybody at your job got a bonus, would you be happy that the crackhead at the job got a bonus as well that was equal to yours? Would you be happy with that? I know I wouldn't be. I know that I'd be out here going, I bust my ass all the time, but this lazy piece of shit's going to get exactly what I got. Fuck that noise.
Fucking bot.
I hate his guts. He's so terrible. If I sign a contract to do carpentry in a new home, I should also get a cut of the home sale price. Exactly. That is one of the biggest stupid problems with movies and Hollywood in general and stuff, is they all think that they do a job one time and they should be paid for that job infinitum. And that's ridiculous. You shouldn't be able to like say, I did 5 things for 3 months at a time, and then that should be the thing that sustains me and my lifestyle for the rest of my life. No.
Flips, which means that.
Oh fuck! I'm sorry. This was the last.
That it is now.
Everything. We're just gonna let this. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Oh boy. Here we go. Today's TikTok Trash Tuesday was done under duress and sickness. So, you know. And here I am going almost 2 hours.
I don't think Christopher Nolan is getting any pushback for this movie. They gave him however much money he wanted. They sold out IMAX tickets a year in advance for.
I don't know that I am going to do this or not, but like I might end up agreeing with this weird ass podcast that people for some weird ass reason listen to. I don't know what. I see these guys. They got like Todd McFarlane and what's his nut there from The Walking Dead and Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead, and it's like. These fucking mooks. Okay.
This movie. He has never had more of a budget and never had more of a say in a movie. You don't think that could be a recipe for disaster?
I think it very much will be. I think The Odyssey is the biggest gamble that Christopher Nolan has done yet. And I don't know that the payoff is going to be there for him. I think he's trying to please too many masters at once. And I think the movie's going to, I don't know that it's going to fail. Fail might be a strong word. But I don't think it's going to do like Oppenheimer numbers.
He was offended when Robert Pattinson asked for the script. I haven't seen too much negativity about the Odyssey that isn't like the accents or the costumes not being correct.
So you want more negativity about the concept not being complex enough?
I think there are aspects of the Odyssey that raise red flags for me.
Which I just said one.
That's one of them, yes. Another one is the cast.
The cast is too good.
Are you baiting, man? Are you baiting him? Is that what you're like? What was he? You think they're too good? Is it that they're too good? Is that the reason why you don't think they should be in there? It's like that's because that's always been a problem with movies. It's like, God damn it, these actors are too good. That answer is no.
What was the last point? He's got too much money.
It's too much his vision.
I think it's not his vision enough. I mean, the version of the Odyssey that he used was one that was translated a couple of years ago, and the woman that translated it, she was like, "I'm the first woman to translate the Odyssey." And then you realize why they don't let women translate the Odyssey, because she was changing some shit in there. He used that version. He used her version.
Too much Nolan vision.
The greatest living director, in my opinion, by the way.
Dead wrong on that one, but okay.
But I do.
You telling me that he's better than Fincher or Tarantino? I don't know about all that.
I feel like George Lucas, I love A New Hope. It's my favorite movie of all time. But a lot of shit went wrong on that movie. And since that movie has come out, he has done nothing but change it to make it worse.
Yeah, I agree, but like what now?
My point is, he made Phantom Menace with a bunch of yes men that said yes to every single thing you could watch.
Oh my God, I'm about to agree with this son of a bitch.
Watch the documentary. I have. He's sitting in the screening room.
I didn't need to watch it. I saw Rick McCullum in person. The man was attached to his balls. It was amazing.
Going, I may have gone too far in some places. But every single person, every single time is like, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
You don't think he's had he's been Nolan's been successful for longer, that the yes men problem wouldn't have already happened?
Oh no, he got yes men in there. He got yes men. Trust me, he got yes men.
Like when Oppenheimer was coming out, you don't think people were just throwing money and
No, because Oppenheimer was his first movie with Universal, and it was a 3-hour rated R biopic. But
it shouldn't have been rated R. The only reason that movie was rated R because clearly, what's her face, Florence Pugh wanted to get naked. There's no reason that should be in that movie. There's like actual just nudity in the movie for no real good reason. You could have had the exact same scenes and not had any nudity in them. They made it's R-rated for no good damn reason. It should be PG-13 at the most.
Now that the 3-hour rated R biopic made $25 million or $30 million short of $1 billion, yes, he gets to do whatever he wants.
And that can certainly lead to one's detriment. Look at a little gentleman called Francis Ford Coppola. Sometimes getting more money and everything that you want is not the answer.
This guy right here stole my analysis that I did on TikTok about Hereditary. And I have the receipts, which I will gladly show you.
I am excited to hear this because I come to a degree from some stand-up. I do some stand-up comedy. I did in the early 2000s on and off for about 8 years total. And in the open mic community a lot, and especially if you're like in an insular city here and everything, and you deal with like the same kind of open micers all the time across different venues and stuff, but people that, show up to various open mics all around, you are bound to run into people that will steal some jokes, maybe even steal your jokes. And oftentimes I just go, hey, if someone can easily steal your joke, was your joke all that good to begin with? And I submit that it's not. I submit that if somebody could take your joke and perform it in the exact same function that you did, and it gets the exact same laughs, if not better, then your joke stunk. Your joke was generic because anybody could do it. The way that you get good at things is to make things that are very distinctly and universally you. So I want to see this, and I want to see if we're looking at just parallel thinking of bad ideas, because that certainly happens a whole bunch. It's just like I've got this take, he's got this take. Could they be parallel thinking, or are they grifts one for one? Let's find out here. I don't watch these ahead of time, but I'm curious to see if this is just somebody who has the same cruddy opinions as you do, and I don't know what opinions we're talking about here. I'm just going to call them cruddy. But if you've got the same cruddy opinions as this other guy, it might just be parallel thinking. But let's examine the evidence.
3 days ago, I posted a video analyzing Hereditary, talking about how terrifying it is that the girls at this party are in on the cult because they put nuts in the cake, which leads to Charlie dying, all that. Then yesterday, somebody tags me in this video by Peli de la Semana. And I know he stole my stuff because he didn't even edit the video clips himself.
Okay.
He stole the clips that I edited. I bought a copy of Hereditary. I did my own editing. I found the clips. I put things together that aren't actually together in the film. And he used the exact same one. Watch.
Eventualmente descubrimos que ese pastel tiene nueces, la protagonista.
Oh shit. This might actually be actual proper stealing, because he's in another language and stuff. So he just goes like, ain't nobody gonna find this out.
Que es alérgica se empieza a asfixiar y cuando su hermano la quiere llevar a casa ocurre la legendaria escena del poste.
It even zooms at the exact same time.
All right, that is stealing. I will say that's beyond parallel thinking. That is him stealing, and he's stealing because he speaks another language and he feels that you or whomever is not going to know.
You can also tell that he stole my clips because he purposefully crops out where the text would be on every single one of his clips because he stole them from my video. Why call yourself a lover of film, a lover of analyzing film critically, if all you do is steal other people's work to pass it off as your own? Now,
that's because most of you aren't talented in any way, shape, or form. I'm sorry, but it's the fucking truth. It's the truth. Most of y'all don't really have much talent, and so you steal from others.
I've had many people over the course of my time on TikTok reference things that I've done in my video, and they have tagged me or given me credit. And there are times that I have put in my video ideas that other people have told me, and I have DM'd them to ask them about sharing that, or I have tagged them in the video or referenced their exact comment.
That is why, and as long as it's an actual user, I will tag them when I clip stuff, and I do a TikTok Trash Tuesday clip. When I put it out on TikTok, I will tag the creator that's in there, because I feel like if I'm doing that, if I'm using their video and stuff, I want them to know. Sometimes it's called, I want you to know how much I hate you. Sometimes it's like, I want you to know how much I enjoyed your TikTok. So you never really know, but I don't shy away from it. Even the ones, I'll tag Real Bag Takes. I don't care. I'll tag his ass. Because what's he going to do? Make a video about me? That'll never happen, because he knows that, that would just boost my profile, and he don't want that.
Thank you, Marie. I'm going to share her insight because it blew my mind. And the wildest thing is now his video has more likes and more views than mine.
That's the problem right there. That's where you're mad.
He will get more money from this than I did.
Oh, boo. Oh, I understand. But at the same time, too, you got to be better than, homie. Then you've got to integrate yourself in some way that he can't take that out of context. So next time, what you want to do is take your video and put that in the background, use that as a blue screen, and put yourself in front of it. So therefore, he can't steal anything. So again, you got to work smarter, not harder.
I come up with all of my own stuff. It's not always the best. There are times I post videos and people are like, I don't really buy this one. And I'm like, yeah, but guess what? I don't look up other people's analyses to make something that I think will be successful based on the work that other people have done.
Nah, what I do is I pull their stuff and make fun of them to their face.
These are all my thoughts. For better or for worse, I am literally watching a movie and sharing exactly what I thought after I saw it. And people like Pele de la Semana make my skin crawl, because the whole reason I do this is because I love movies and literature, and I just love exploring the ideas that come into my mind. But when people like this steal other people's work, pass it off as their own, it undermines the whole purpose of analyzing film.
Listen, he's not wrong. I feel bad for him. I mean, that's a rough spot, because that's literally someone just stealing from you. Hold on. Whew. All right.
I genuinely hate this style of filmmaking. A couple years back, director Wesley Wang uploaded.
It's going. It's going. I got far too much of this left. I don't know how much I want to do. I've been going. This is too long. I'm sick. I'm clearly overheating, and we're rolling though. We're rolling. Hit the like and subscribe button, everybody.
His short film, Nothing Except Everything, onto YouTube, where it probably went super viral, and then he got a deal with Sony Pictures. This might seem.
Oh, again, man. I'm sorry, but we got to get a little bit of peanut butter to go with all of that chili. Listen, man, I get it. If somebody does something that seems small and insignificant and then gets a whole big giant thing, and you work your buttons off, and it seems like you don't get nothing. Believe you me, I get it. But you can't let it run you, man. You can't let it run you.
Like a big indie win for filmmakers. You know, Wesley Wang's dad doesn't work for Sony Pictures, so clearly something happened here. But the only thing that sucks is that it ruined my life. That's a lie. It didn't ruin my life, but it made it really annoying. In this short film, if you can even call it a short film, it's kind of just like a long edit. If somebody took all the videos themselves, it's like a long highlight reel. In this short film, you're gonna see a lot of semi-saturated color grading. Oh, interesting. Some tongue-in-cheek direction. You know, they're gonna look at the camera, or maybe be self-referential. Oh, or have a woman who's just kind of there. They're always there and they do nothing.
Well, yeah, that seems to be most women. No, am I right, boys? Am I right, boys? All them women be sitting around me, we'll be doing nothing.
I'm not going to elaborate on that.
Taking up space.
I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, the reason why I hate this style of filmmaking so much is because it's so easy and so boring.
Then why don't you do it? Then why don't you do it? If it's so easy and it's so successful and that's how people are getting things, why don't you do it? Why not? Surely it should be easy. You say it's easy to do. Everybody's doing it, and the ones that are doing it are being successful. Why don't you? It's not because of your artistic integrity. It's because you can't. You can't do what they do. Otherwise, you would.
Because it's everything. If I saw that short film like 6 years ago, I'd be like, whoa, this is so innovative. No, it's not. It's actually just exhausting. The editing is incredibly fast-paced, and every short film is color graded like that now, and it looks... I don't even know how to describe it. It looks Netflix. But there's some lighting technique there, so it's not fully Netflix. Now, if you take like a high school film class or like maybe a lower college film class, your peers and your fellow students are gonna make a film exactly like Nothing Except Everything, because once again, it's easy.
I haven't seen this film, so I can't much say.
As hell, and it looks professional. It looks professional, and it's impressive to, you know, TikTok-brained freaks. I can have fun, okay?
Oh, she's talking about this editing, and she put that whole big-ass flash frame in there? My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Come on now.
I have so much fun. I cannot have fun with this short film. Also, not to be conspiratorial, but getting a movie deal with Sony Pictures after you got 8 million views on your YouTube video.
That is pretty ridiculous. That's kind of nuts. 8 million views is like it's good, but that's not that much.
I'm not calling anybody an industry plant. Also, it's good to keep in context that I am also jealous as hell. Everybody wishes that their parents
Oh God, with the fucking flash frames again, man. You put me in
could afford you to go to Harvard so then you could make a short film and then get a movie deal with Mr. Sony Pictures, bro. Shut up. Anyways.
Hello, Mr. Sony. I'd like to have a picture, please.
This movie ruined my life, and it's gonna ruin cinema. That's true. That's not an exaggeration. It's over for all of us.
I like her. She's great. Movies are absolute shit now. I believe you're correct. They're not all shit now because let's be honest. Let me ask you then, friendo. Did you see Backrooms and Obsession? I mean, because those are obviously two of the big indie hits and stuff right now. Did you see those, and what did you think about them? Were those absolute shit? Just out of curiosity. He's no burnt peanut, but then again, who is?
You can low-key tell how smart someone is by...
You can low-key tell how stupid someone is if they talk like this. If you talk like the Burger King foot lettuce guy, then you are a complete and absolute dope.
How they describe movies and TV shows. You're like, never seen that movie, what's it about? And they're focused on the plot. They're not that smart.
What? What do you want them to say? What's that movie about? Star Wars. What's that movie about? Well, it's about About a farm boy who goes and saves a galactic empire. That's no. What do you slow down?
I asked someone to describe Toy Story, and they told me it was about the fear of obsolescence, existential dread, or finding your identity and purpose.
It can be about those things, but ultimately, it's like, what's Toy Story about? It's about what if your toys came to life when you weren't around. That's it. That's how you pitch Toy Story. That's the elevator pitch. What if your toys were alive when you weren't there? What if they led completely interesting lives and they had all these things, all the machinations of human lives and interactions and stuff, but it is through the lens of toys. You don't talk about the feelings of it. That's ridiculous.
Literally think they have never seen a movie before in their life. It's a movie about talking toys. It's about a funny space ranger and a cowboy having.
And what I just told you was the plot. He's kind of dumbing it down. Like, I mean, we can get to a point where we just go, it's colors on the screen. You can get that dumb, I suppose, if you want.
No spat. There's even a talking potato. It's not about existential dread or fear of obsolescence, but those themes are present. The people who view theme as plot rather than plot that digs up different themes are some of the most media illiterate people on the internet.
I think I mostly agree with them. The Toy Story people need to make one full of and about creepy porcelain dolls. Ooh. You're right. They never really had because they've kind of just explored a whole bunch of the toy ideas and stuff from like creepy, like Sid's toys that he all mashed together and stuff like that. But we never really came across those porcelain dolls or anything like that. No Pokemon. Never any Pokemon.
I'm surprised a lot of people don't like this movie.
I am surprised that it's got as high a Rotten Tomatoes score for both audiences and critics as it does. I'm kind of shocked by that. And again, much like the video that we saw earlier, I think if this movie hadn't been directed by Steven Spielberg but M. Night Shyamalan, we'd all be poo-poo in this movie. But the fact that Steven Spielberg, we all kind of give it a pass. And as a big strong Steven Spielberg fan and stuff, even I'm not willing to do that. No passes.
Thought it rocked. And I think Steven Spielberg proves once again why he's one of the best filmmakers of all time. There's just a lot of ideas in here that make you think. So essentially,
yeah, but the problem is that they never really come to any sort of fruition. They never come to any conclusion or zenith to the conversation. It never happens.
Essentially, this thing follows a group of people who are trying to expose that aliens exist, and the corporation trying to cover that up is trying to stop them. And the big question that this movie raises is, how would humans react to finding out that we are not alone? Through that story, it explores things like empathy, religion, and faith in humanity. This is just such a well-made film. It builds its tension and mystery and makes you wait for the
and it does, and it makes you wait too much, and that's part of the problem. Is that we get into the movie, and the movie's kind of already rolling. You're in the midst of it as things are happening, and you're learning things as you're not even 100% sure what's going on until about the fourth of the way through the film, because they just take forever to actually tell you what's going on and too much to put together, and it's not super effective, in my opinion.
The answer, which not only makes the third act of this movie, which is great, by the way.
The third act is the worst act, just by the by.
So rewarding, but it also makes you reflect on how you would react in this situation as well. It's led by a great performance from Emily Blunt. I mean, she is nothing short of incredible in this movie.
There are moments where I think she's really great. There's other moments where I think she's absolutely dog crap. But I think that you would take some of that dog crap performance and be like, no, this is due to X, Y, and Z. I won't talk about it. But I don't agree.
And this story,
I think it's okay. Like I said, there's good parts, bad parts.
I would say, mainly revolves around her character and what she is. Then we have Josh O'Connor, who is connected to her character in a way, but also turns in a great performance, along with Coleman Domingo too. We get some great chase sequences, along with some beautiful cinematography that includes some great oneers. Now, this movie isn't perfect. There are a lot of conveniences and coincidences that happen in order to keep the plot going, and there are also a few characters.
Why do they have to build that whole house and everything? Why is the Coleman Domingo thing? Why do they have to do all that, other than the fact that it looks interesting? It gives like that character something to do in the interim.
And ideas that they kind of completely forgot about. And also, if you're expecting a full-blown alien movie, I wouldn't say this is that.
Yeah, but you definitely get some alien action, and it's weird. I call one of them Mr. Mackey. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
There's aliens in it, but not as much as you would think. But Spielberg
Not as much as you would hope.
is still able to.
And when they are there, I don't know, it just feels like a silent movie. It wasn't, it's like that's the part of it's the part of the movie that you've been, it's culminated to this point, but then once you get there, it's kind of like, all right, I don't care anymore. It's like, well, you've waited and you've put us at this point, and then you just go like, you've waited too long. I don't care at this point.
To inject that magic and create that sense of awe and wonder in this movie that he is known for. And I left this thing not only thinking about its ending, but also thoroughly enjoying my time with it. So for me, it gets a 9 out of 10.
Wow. That is an amazing high grade. If I was going on a 10-point scale, it's like a 6.5 maybe. But does the movie include the reaction of sci-fi nerds? I doubt it. No, it does not. No, it does not. They ignore them. That's and that, as far as I'm concerned, a crime.
We don't have enough hood horror.
Listen, I think we've got a decent amount, but let's hear about. Do we need more hood horror? I think we got just the right amount, and I think he's about to prove to us that we've got just the right amount. Maybe we don't need to. Every now and then we come up with a little hood horror, but we don't. A little goes a long way.
We don't have enough hood horror. We got horror in different genres, subgenres, all that great stuff.
All right, that looks like we got People Under the Stairs. That looks like the top one. Then you got Candyman. I can't quite tell what the other two are because he's in the way.
But we don't have enough hood.
Oh, that's Tales from the Hood in the middle. That's Tales from the Hood. I'm just trying to figure out what these bottom two are. He's too much in the way.
Horror. So I'm going to pinpoint a few films that takes place in the hood. And
I might should have sped this dude up too, man. Some of y'all got to learn to talk a little bit faster. You're so fucking boring.
Let me know if you've seen these movies. So of course I have to add People Under the Stairs. This takes place down in my town in Los Angeles, but it also really deals with class, race, all the things that are happening here. And if you watch this movie, you kind of see a little bit of the hood going on.
Then you got the kid from the Mighty Ducks in it.
On with this. So yeah, this is hood horror.
Does Leprechaun in the Hood count? It's got the hood in the title, my friend. Yeah, it counts.
Candyman is hood horror because it takes place in Penny Green and all that stuff that was.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're literally in the projects
happening in that neighborhood, and it was really involving the residents, and there's a little bit of hood.
Candyman is so good. When you think about back, I think back about Candyman. It's like that movie's so good. Tony Todd is so good in that film. And honestly, the kind of remake sequel dealy, it wasn't that bad. I want to watch it again. It's been a minute. I mean, it's not as good as the original, no doubt. But
you got a little bit of the upper class stuff, but basically, this happens in the hood. Tales in the Hood. I mean,
come on,
it says it right there.
Is in the hood. It's in the title.
Yeah, I could have put.
Oh, I didn't see this, so I couldn't say it. Vampires versus the Bronx.
Vampire in Brooklyn, but the Vampire versus the Bronx. That was giving you some hood. That was giving you vampires. That was giving you a little bit of action. It's an okay film. Not the best, but it was okay.
Well, you're selling it real good for me.
What it was. Now, Thriller is.
I don't know. This is not the Thriller I know. I know Thriller: A Cruel Picture. That's a Swedish film. That's kind of a pornography revenge film.
It was a big disappointment, but it is a hood movie. But it was a big disappointment.
so
I will say, if you have not watched Thriller, watch it.
Go check out Black Devil Doll from Hell. That movie feels like you're in the hood because it was shot on VHS and it's just so crummy looking and everything. And there's like the audio's awful. It looks like it's got tracking problems the entire time. Watch that. That's as hood as you get, boy.
It's using all the tropes that we're familiar with, but it just fell flat for me. But yes, this is hood horror. Attack the Block is hood horror, but in England.
Yeah.
But it's basically hood. So this was...
That's the street, bro. You know what you're saying? We got a bit of a little knicky-knacky there. Yeah? Getting all in there. Great drink of water, a glass of water.
Actually, I would say this is one of the best hood horror films out
That big black thing with the growing teeth, man, hit me in the head with a bottle of water.
there. This is one of the best. I was floored watching this in the theater. So I would say this is one of the best hood horrors we have out there. But yes, Attack the Block is hood horror.
Man, what y'all think that thing brushes teeth with, man? Colgate?
But to keep it real, we
all fresh.
Need more. We need more hood horror. Good hood horror. Good hood horror. That's what we need. So if I'm missing some, put it in the comments. But I would love to see more hood horror. Hell, I may need to write one myself. So we need more hood horror.
Another thing that we need, and I told a buddy about this, a comedian buddy of mine, because I was like, man, I was driving around the other day and I was thinking about you, and I was like, no, there are so few Black Christmas films. We need more Black Christmas films. You know, Christmas films that are, you know, from the perspective of Black families. I think we need more of that. Like you know, for lack of a better word, hood Christmas movies. I think we need Black Christmas movies. I think that is an area of that genre that's kind of not been explored. And you know, listen, there's much about us that makes us the same, but there's much about us that is also different. And I think that's something to be explored. And I ain't the guy to write it because I don't know from a Black Christmas experience. If Hannibal Lecter was a catty 22-year-old girl.
Agent Starling, you think you can dissect me with your blunt little tool? You know what you look like to me? With your good bag and your cheap shoes. You look like a rube. A well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste. Good nutrition has given you some length of bone, but you're not more than one generation from poor white trash. Are you, Agent Starling?
The little
And that accent that you've tried so desperately to shed, that's pure West Virginia, right? What does your father do?
Anthony Hopkins was so fucking good in that role, dude. Like, even her just like reading these lines, you can just picture Hopkins in your head, and he's like, he just destroyed that role, didn't he?
Is he a coal miner? Does he stink of the lamp? And oh, how quickly the boys found you.
Oh, how
All those tedious, sticky fumblings in the back seats of cars. Well, you could only dream of getting out, getting anywhere, getting all the way to the FBI. You see a lot, Dr. Lecter.
Man, I want to watch Silence of the Lambs again, dude.
I don't want this to turn into Taylor Swift tickets. Movies are a democratic art form. They absolutely have to be to make sense. They should not be boxing people out. Like, we're watching this with the NBA Finals right now. New Yorkers can't get tickets to the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years.
Oh no! Listen. There's nothing that makes me roll my eyes harder than any New York sports fans. Ugh, just shut up. Guess what? Carolina Hurricanes just won the Stanley Cup. No fires in Raleigh. No on fire buses in Charlotte. Everything fine. Everything copacetic. We didn't decide to burn the world down because we won and or lost.
And that's not good. Obviously, going to a basketball game is more of a privilege than going to your movie theater around the corner, but some of it is like there's not enough projectionists. and enough equipment to account for enough 70 millimeter projection.
No, I mean that you come up to a wall at that point. There's only so many of those out there.
This is the other side of eventizing stuff, and
Yeah.
and it's worked, and they have eventized the format nerds.
But it's alienating regular people
It
who
is.
want to walk up and just buy tickets on opening night. And then you're like, well, I guess I can't go see The Odyssey until next week because
Yeah.
people can't just go see movies in the middle of the day. It's fine now.
Yeah, well, listen, some of us can.
But it could get to a place where it's not good. It becomes a hobbyist thing
Mhm.
and isn't really a mainstream thing. And
Yeah.
I'm just not in support of that.
I don't know. It'll all depend. I think it is stupid that like Odyssey tickets were selling like a year before. Like there wasn't even a trailer out, and they were just like, "Here, go buy the tickets." I'm like, I'm not fucking throwing down money for a ticket for a year in advance for a movie. Eat it. No.
Where did things start to go wrong in our culture?
Big Willie style. Got to be at least part of it.
And I'm specifically talking to people who think that we peaked in the 1990s. Well,
I'm telling you though, dude, I sat on the porch today with my dog drinking some coffee and everything, and I was thinking about stuff, and I got to thinking, bro, the 90s is pretty friggin' amazing. I grew up in one of the best times as somebody that was born in 82 and just kind of, was a baby in the 80s and a child in the 90s. So by the time that 2000 came around, I was 18 years old. So I think the perfect time for everything, dude, because I kind of got like the last bit of the 80s and, all the amazing stuff of the 90s. And the 90s, man, they kick ass a lot more than people remember.
I think I have an answer. Once upon a time, if there was some sort of a huge blockbuster movie, there was a very good chance that that film would be accompanied by a huge hit song that explained the plot of the film.
Well, listen, I don't know if the Bat-2C necessarily explained the plot of Batman 89, but I get your point.
To be clear, I am not talking about the movie soundtracks they released today, where the only time you ever hear them is if you watch the movie and sit through the credits.
Let me tell you something, though, boys and girls. I played the hell out of the Top Gun soundtrack on cassette tape. Whew! Boy, did I play that thing like mad. All the songs. It's so good.
Back then, the song was as big as the movie. And the accompanying music videos for these songs were...
the Will Smith ones were like, say what you will, unbelievable. So huge. The Men in Black, come on.
Were not just scenes from the movie. They would shoot a whole separate thing, often spending millions of dollars.
First of all, they sampled an amazing song. That's part of it. Send Me Your Forget-Me-Nots. It's an amazingly good song, and that's why it is as good as it is. And let's be honest, I can still say it. His rhymes are good. Rhymes are good on that song.
The stars of the movie would often show.
Yes, I'm so glad. If he wasn't going to mention it, I was going to mention it. MC Hammer and the Addams Family Values. That was the second one, right?
Up in the music video, like they would
say what they want to do what they want to have a family. You remember that?
Separately come and shoot this. This was effectively part of the film production. When I was a little kid, there was a different one every...
I'm all right. Don't nobody worry about me. Let me tell you something. Kenny Loggins was the motherfucking king of this in the 80s.
year. Like, I vividly remember being 8 years old and all of the kids in my elementary school being obsessed with Ghostbusters. And probably 70% of that excitement was about the song, not the movie. It made these movies feel like cultural events. Like, do you understand that the movie Titanic was built around this song?
It was unbelievable. If you weren't there, you just don't know.
It was a key component to the whole thing because they knew they had to have a song.
Now, they had a couple on that one. That was the crazy thing, too.
Until one day, it abruptly stopped.
Our musicians, as it were, quote unquote, have gotten so much worse that who could do this? You know what I'm saying? Who could do it?
I'm not saying they stopped making the songs. I'm saying that the era of them being a cornerstone of the pop culture stopped abruptly. And everybody who was there knows the exact moment when they stopped. The film and the song.
Wow, wow, wow. Here's the thing. The Wild Wild West song isn't that bad. It really isn't. First of all, it's built on a Stevie Wonder song, so it's already good, you know? I wish those days would come back once more. So that you got that going on. The Cisco bit is good. Cisco got a little feature in there. It ain't bad. It ain't bad.
Wild Wild West. People hated this thing.
I think it was wrong to hate it. I think they hated it because it was just so damn catchy.
Hated everything about it. And it seemed like
Wow, wow, West.
From that point on, we just decided we were too cool for this kind of thing. Like, unless it was literally a Disney musical for kids, the idea of having a song about the movie just seemed corny.
I will tell you this, you need to check out Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping. That whole album is amazing. I listened to that album like when that movie came out, I listened to that album like I listened to like regular ass music.
A lot of people think it was after 9/11 that we lost that kind of pure, unironic silliness from the culture. But it really wasn't. It was 1999. It was that specific year. That next year is when we started dressing our superheroes in black leather instead of colorful costumes. I am not nostalgic for many things from this era, but I do feel like that specific period of time, starting with the widespread adoption of the internet, is when people started to become more self-conscious and more afraid of looking silly and more afraid of liking things that seemed too corny.
Which is hilarious because it's while we say that, they are also still doing some of the cringiest, corniest, stupidest stuff that you've ever seen in your entire life, and you can't stop them from doing it. So I don't know.
Where today it's like, if you're gonna do this, you'd better be doing it ironically.
Wow, wow, West.
I think something from our current era that is going to date movies is that every movie now is filmed in this way where the background is completely blurred in every shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're looking at kind of a shallow depth of field here. I think a lot of it is kind of a little bit lazy cinematography, a lazy art direction and stuff as well, where they go, oh, there's nothing interesting back there, so we just have to blur it all out. I think it also comes from a little bit of narcissism from actors and stuff themselves. A lot of those things often can be reshoots that they'll do, light things up pretty close to the same and then throw a green screen back there and throw it wildly out of focus so you don't quite notice as well. There's a lot of things that could lead to this, but most of it's just kind of, shitty, lazy filmmaking so that you can set up your shot and everything that it's going to be fine. And when you go to post, it's all going to work out. But if it doesn't, you'll be all right.
Thriller drama loves a completely blurred background.
They do it a lot on TV as well.
Mhm.
When they started doing it, it did look kind of classy and cool. And they'll sometimes do that thing where it's sort of a radial blur, like a sort of round blur. But now, like every TV show and every movie, all you can ever see is basically one character and then just a super blurry background.
It's because they're also shittier at lighting and stuff these days as well.
And I'm getting quite tired of it as an audience member because I want to see some set. I want to see some, extension.
Do you think people are doing it to cut corners? Because you don't have to dress the background, right?
Maybe
not as well. You don't.
But I think it's it does look cool. But the problem with anything that looks cool is if you do it too much, it then becomes overplayed.
Yeah.
But I do think sometimes it's a bit of a crutch of how can we very quickly make this shot look nice? Rather than having a cool background that's nicely lit.
We went through that period of everything being filmed on a shaky cam. And now whenever I see a bit of a shaky cam, I'm like, oh, this was clearly filmed during that time.
Yeah.
Damn you, Paul Greengrass.
Again, and that was cool when they first started doing it, and then everyone did it.
And it was overused. I actually never, if you want to make a film or a TV show for me, I actually never enjoy a shaky cam. It
She's like, Paul Greengrass, you can eat one.
always makes me feel a little bit sick.
All right, everybody, that's it. Apparently, I've gotten to the end of yet another TikTok Trash Tuesday, and we did it all while sick, everybody. I want to go ahead and just put that on Front Street and let everybody know that that's what it was. I've been sick this entire time. You couldn't have told, right? No, that's true. I've been hawking up the phlegm all day. That is it, everybody. I wanted to shoot some videos and stuff this week, but like I'm clearly not doing well in the health department here. I got a giant zit on my nose and one on my forehead. We're falling apart over here. So all I ask from you is to hit the like and subscribe button, and just do what you do, man. Because I really appreciate you. Thank you for inventing the term shaky cams. Did he invent that word? I don't know that that's true. That seems a little bit. Suspicious. All right, everybody, that's it. Join us on Sunday for a live half-assed movie podcast. We're going to be talking season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, and leading into the week after that, where we're covering the new Supergirl that's coming out. So we'll check out and see how well the James Gunn DC universe is going, and we'll finally see Jason Momoa in Lobo, as he always should have been from the get-go, and never to have been Aquaman. What an utterly weird choice that was for them at the time. That is it, everybody. We will see you next on Sunday. That is it for me. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.
Why, everybody? You guys are great. That's right.